everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, back with another Twitter thread in the vein of the last one in which what did we do last time? All right, that was just to give Dyer something to add in the beginning where I mess up the intro because she's out of ideas. There are some cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! That were banned prematurely. Sometimes these cards were hit because of the sins of other cards, most notably the one that I've posted here, Assault Core. This card was part of an FTK with Firewall Dragon, and Firewall Dragon was absolutely the problem. But because Assault Core was newer, they banned that part of it, at which point 55 other FTKs with Firewall Dragon emerged. This is not the first time that happened, it's not the only time, and it probably won't be the last time. So today I asked you, what are some cards that didn't get their shot in the sun? Maybe they were hit because of other more powerful cards, maybe they were hit because Konami misjudged their power level, maybe Konami thought that after the banning of some more powerful cards, they would rise to take over the metagame. Whatever the case, let's see what you've got. Ritual Beast Ulti Kanahawk, limiting it was not the hit, nor did it need to be hit. If anyone says it was because of time rules, you do not have an understanding of the concept of linear time. Ritual Beast Ulti Kanahawk was the flagship piece of a deck that countered exactly Nekroz. That was enough to put it into tier 2 contention during formats where Nekroz was powerful, but its setup turn was a little hard to manage. It took some time. By today's standards, it was absolutely nothing. The worst pilot piloting it the least optimally could take about 7 minutes to do their first turn. Nowadays, when sprite combos can last 20 minutes, and even a tier element player can manage an entire turn in the first 40 minutes of the duel, that seems ridiculous. But at the time, this was limited specifically to stop that heinous time-sucking loop.
However,
limiting it doesn't even stop the loop. You can completely perform it normally with a singular copy. Yeah, there were a ton of cards that were hit preliminarily as Master Rule 5 came out. That's the April 2020 Master Rule revision in the OCG. Cards that were designed around only having one EMZ and were suddenly very powerful now that you had multiples. Junk Speeder was one of these because theoretically it can summon like 5 monsters you can then use as material to synchro summon. But it turns out that shit ain't that good. This one's a little bit controversial. But I think that Drident's latest ban was really undeserved. For the most part, all the Zoo variants running around were extremely fair. If you were looking to ban something from them, Zeus is the obvious hit. Unfortunately, Zeus is newer. L. Just huge L. Man, to this day, I do not understand why this card is on the Master Duel ban list. Oh my goodness. It's a hit to Eldritch that does not change any of the things that make Eldritch frustrating to play against. A Hero Lives was fine and completely okay for years because you could summon Shadow Mist off of it and get to Darklaw. That's a very powerful play, but not game-winning on its own. You still need to, like, back it up with a significant amount of other powerful monsters. When they unlimited Stratos, putting it back to 1, they were like, no, 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 no. You cannot let this card be legal. People will summon Stratos. The only deck it would have potentially been broken in is Dark Warrior, which would sometimes use like Vision Hero Vion to send Malicious to start combos. And the problematic parts of that deck were Rongo Nimiad. So thankfully that is not around anymore. I have no idea why United We Stand was on the list ever. I literally could not tell you. There was never a format where I was like, oh yeah, the second United We Stand is the difference maker. Oh yeah. No, I do remember. Lady Debug used to be, like, okay in Salamangreat, and so they limited her. That's crazy. I mean, the problem cards in Salad were all the salads. Lightsworn was playable for a long period of time, and people were a little upset after JD was released that it had the ability to now high roll into these unbelievably powerful turns. You could summon, like, multiple JD, like JD, clear the board, land a couple extra JD. So what do you do to resolve this? Pretty obvious. You limit or ban JD, right? No. Instead, they limited Charge, limited Necrogardna, and limited Lumina. This is probably the worst card to ever be on the ban list. When Dark Scorpion Chick the Yellow attacks, activate one of these effects, target a card on the field, return that target to the hand, or look at the top card of your opponent's deck, then return it to the top or the bottom of the deck. If you target a Call of the Haunted that is attached to Chick the Yellow, you can bounce the Call of the Haunted. Then if Makura the Destructor's effect is activated, you can activate it again, target the Chick the Yellow, and do the same thing. It is the worst OTK in the history of time. It's wild, because every other card involved in that combo was independently powerful, and they were like, We got to put Chick on there. So this card is banned because of an FTK it enables with Topologic Bomber Dragon, where it can repeatedly wipe the field over and over and over again. But now the Topologic Bomber Dragon is like an incredibly powerful card in its own right. Maybe we should have banned it. Gub in the modern era is a 1-card Link 2, which is exceptionally powerful. It also mills a card from the top of your deck, so sometimes you just get to pop all the way off. But its first stint on the ban list was right at the end of Synchro era, in which, after glimpsing a format that would include Windup, Inzektor, Dino Rabbit in April of 2012, Konami hit like 6 cards on the ban list to Forbidden, and all of them were shit like this. Like uncritical pieces of Plant Synchro, a deck that was on its way out anyway. Soul Mayas was strange. Konami was trying to ban the enabler of powerful rank 5s, but the problem was the payoff in Cyber Dragon Infinity was really the only payoff for this card. Later, maybe you could argue Azathoth, but that card is independently banned. He could come off, you know, today, and there would be no issue. Yeah, this was a strange hit to Tri-Brigade. Recital Starling was part of a setup combo that could get UFD on the field, but you can't do it if you have to only play 1 copy because she's limited. It really prevented people from exploring the bird-up version of Tri-Brigade further. Absolutely neutered Lyrilisc as an independent strategy. It was crazy. Wait, this card should not be on the ban list. Hold up. There's no way. So Slash Draw was part of a super inconsistent FTK, probably the worst FTK I've ever seen in my life, enabled by the greatest deep draw tool of all time, Saruya Skulldread. Like, that card could be banned, could be limited. Either of those would be fine. But they were like, no, we got to hit Slash Draw. That shit is just too funny. So Wall's on the list not because, like, preventing your opponent's monsters from attacking is crazy. You can accomplish that for free with any number of floodgates like Gravity Bind. But Wall of Revealing Light's on the list because it allows you to pay an arbitrary amount of life points. And that is too good. There are a significant amount of cards that are like, if you're at under 1,000, win. To be perfectly honest, while I'm an idiot, I don't understand why Heavy Storm can't be at 1 while Harpies is. You can destroy your own cards with it and gain effects off that, but Dark Hole is legal too. I legitimately could not tell you. Heavy Storm could absolutely be, you know, at 1 momentarily. They should reban Harpy's Feather Duster and put this to 1. Thank you. Emergency Provisions. This card was semi-limited in 2005 because they thought, like, what if you E-Prov and then send a resolving copy of Good Goblin Housekeeping? Then, for the low cost of 2.5 cards, you can gain 2,000 life points. Got limited for Adamancipator Sins, but wish it stuck around. I love encouraging specific deck building. We'd already have broken pot cards. This is the most unique. No, absolutely correct. Yeah, absolutely right. Sekka's Light lets you draw 2 cards, but you have to be playing no spells or traps in your deck to do so, basically. In a world where we have Extrav and Prosperity and Desires all legal at the same time, imagine, like, making players jump through hoops to draw 2 and then being like, nah, that's actually too many hoops. I learned a lot here today about what you all think is a reasonable reason to include cards on the list, and about why you should not give MBT viewers rights. Sheesh. Thank goodness you're all not in charge of balancing. Good luck, Dyer. Blommen, Blyer, Blell. L. Just huge L. No, this card had to go. Huge L. Just enormous L. Wow, there's a lot of really bad ones. How do you type something like this? Where are you people coming from? You're out of your mind. This can't be real. You are out of your mind. Dog! There's no way you believe this. You can't show me a card without a hard once per turn and be like, this is okay. You're just wrong. People don't have this take. No. Imagine thinking this.